about it from the beginning. Let's go to the beginning, okay? First of all, let's go real quick. First of all, this scene with Konohamaru catching Matsuri off guard was mad predictable. Not only was the action lackluster, because this scene right here, if you can see it, I got the screen kind of, you know, and what's the word, like, clear, you know what I mean? Like, the opacity's real low, okay? The opacity's real low. So the action right here is real dull action. Mitsuki throwing more snakes out that just get simply dodged, and then he can get tricked by one hostage, right? So, okay, yeah, I understand the hostage, right? Boom. Mitsuki can't attack his friend. But you telling me that was enough time for the Iron Sand, which is slow, by the way. It's known to be slow, by the way. You telling me that's enough time for the Iron Sand to reach all the way over there and hit Mitsuki, and he's not dodging? He didn't retract the snakes. He didn't, like, disengage and disembody the snakes from his body and you know, move separate at that point after he realized, like, come on, bro. In Sage mode too, and he gets knocked out in one hit. I don't like that, okay? So the fact that Yodo just magically can just hear people's inner emotions and shit like that is crazy, okay? The fact that she offered herself to work with him was stupid. That shows more of, it just makes her character more unlikable. Why would she do that? Why would she ever think that was going to work in any world? Why would that work? You're a ninja, aren't you? She don't dress like one, I know that. She definitely doesn't act like one either. Why would she offer herself up for that stupid reason? And all of a sudden, she has this inner, okay, now you can say she has emotional intelligence. That's why she can just tell Sarada likes Boruto. But first of all, why is it a strong hint of hers that Sarada is just defending Boruto? The whole entire Leaf is there, teaming up with the Sand Village. Okay, supposedly trying to trick the tail beast, I forget what they're called right now, the Shinju. They're trying to trick the Shinju together. Everybody in the entire world is under the impression that Boruto's the enemy of everything. He's the enemy of the Leaf and everything. Sarada is the only one, and Mitsuki, they're leaning toward, Mitsuki and Sarada, they're leaning toward Boruto's side, okay? Aside from that, they didn't let that out. They didn't say anything about that. Did she say something that just overtly let them know that, oh, I'm on Boruto's side secretly? Is it because she didn't reveal information that they're literally not supposed to have? Konohamaru, none of them, they're not supposed to know that Shikamaru's working with Boruto. So them not revealing Boruto's location in this instance does not necessarily mean that they're keeping it a secret, right? Because they literally don't know where Boruto is. So she keeps saying, I long wondered why you keep sticking up for a rogue ninja. You long wondered what? You just got on a mission with her. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? So that was confusing for me, right? That doesn't make any sense to me, okay? She's talking about love, whatever. The love part, okay, whatever. You can argue. She has emotional intelligence. She can just tell when Boruto's name is mentioned, blah, blah. Okay, bullshit, right? I think that's stupid. So the Konohamaru scene, right? We go back to Konohamaru and Matsuri. I think that the Konohamaru and Matsuri scene was predictable. You can watch my last video where I said this is turning into shinobi makeout tactics, okay? Him grabbing her hand, I even said this exact scenario. I said he can just grab her hands and say the right words, say, hold on, listen, baby, blah, blah, blah. It's me and you. He basically said that, okay? He grabbed her hands and told her, listen, Matsuri, listen, you feeling that love? Yeah, this is why you don't want to kill me. You're crying, telling her about her emotions, and then boom, giant Razengans on her ass. 2 big-ass Razengans on her ass, okay? And then he goes halfway because he's a punk. He's a coward. He saw her saying his name, Konohamaru-chan, with her lips in the middle of the screen, and he chickened out halfway. He couldn't do it, okay, because of love. This love that they're talking about, that they're going to harp on for I wonder how long and make it the center focus of the arc, because it's so predictable in the only 2 ways it's going to go. Her love is obviously going to turn into some sort of obsessive love-hate, because now it might even just turn straight into hate, because she loved him so much. It might turn into extreme hate. That goes back to the Uchihas. They love super hard, they can hate super hard, okay? That's that. So this is going back to that. This is not the first time love or hate has been a concept in Naruto. This is the first time it's been so heavily in the forefront, I guess you can say. It's not even just a part of one character's aspects or something, or a theme for an arc. This is like, so far to Blue Vortex, this has been like, ever since they got the prologue, the introductions out the way, Boruto, we found out what he can do. This has been the main thing they've been harping on and setting up, okay, since the Senju's been coming into play. So, aside from this super predictable scene that I saw coming, Yodo, like an idiot, gets ran through because she's an idiot. This character just sucks. I don't know who could like Yodo. This character sucks, okay? I don't like this character. And while she's on the ground, she even said, I don't know why, but I can hear what she said. I'm not sure why it's happening, but I can hear it real well, okay? She's apparently just hearing Sarada's heart and her inner feelings and emotions, okay? It doesn't make any sense, okay? I understand the whole two high-level shinobi clash on the battlefield. They can understand each other. So I guess when a low-level shinobi dies on the battlefield, she can understand everybody around her all of a sudden, okay? I guess that's the new thing. So her all of a sudden having this magical ear perception to hear Sarada's inner heart doesn't make any sense to me, and it's so plot convenient that she just all of a sudden can just understand that Sarada's been holding back power, and she knows Sarada's whole character. They're not even really friends like that, and she's telling her that it's okay for her to use her power to protect the thing that she cares about and that's close to her. Boruto's not even here on the battlefield. Is she technically protecting Boruto doing this fight? Like, I don't even know. Yeah, in a way, yeah, because they want to kill Boruto. So I don't know. Like, I feel like this is stupid for Yodo to be the one telling her this and not Sarada to just realize this or something like that. Or, you know, Ryu and them mention how they're gonna kill Boruto, and that like flips a switch in her head and makes her start thinking about all these things, and then give her, you know, that's her own resolve. But no, it takes Yodo to tell her to stop holding back a power that apparently she already knows she has, right? She knows this didn't just happen by, I don't think if it happened by accident, okay, that's one thing. But I don't think this happens by accident. Okay, you awaken your Mangekyo for the first time, it can happen by accident. The trigger is usually the intense emotion that happens when the Uchihas awaken their Sharingan, right? They go through intense emotions in the situation. For generations of Uchiha, the trigger and the emotions that they've been using, and that has been always used to invoke on the Mangekyo Sharingan in the past for Uchihas, was hatred. It was always hatred. They were in a cycle of hatred. I know I was speaking to people before, and I've seen people online think that the Uchiha cycle of hatred and the curse that they had, the curse, the quote-unquote curse, is like a tangible, physical, like not even tangible, but like it's a real curse in the sense of like, you know, of voodoo or a shaman, or like real spiritual, metaphysical matter. No, it's not. It's not a curse like that. Okay, the curse is more in the sense of like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Jujutsu Kaisen in here. Okay, in the first episode, his grandfather tells him, you know, to be nice to people, and that was a curse in a way, because now he has to uphold his grandfather's promise. That's like, you know, almost at the same time a burden, right? To be helping people all the time, selflessly help people. His grandfather didn't literally curse him, and in that world, people can actually and quite literally be cursed. They can have the energy placed on them, and it's a curse. Okay, there's also that type of curse, and more of a curse like saying a swear word, a curse, I'm cursing you out, or like a curse that's less spiritual, right? So the Uchiha curse and that cycle of hatred that they were going through, it's a curse born from their disposition, the disposition of having the Sharingan in their bloodline, the Sharingan being something that alters their minds and their natures and their traits. So when the Sharingan activates, Uchihas, like the Tobirama said, it activates that gene, or was it a gene, or the whatever it is in their brain, activates the chemical in their brain that makes them angry, and it makes them aggressive like that. It can make them narrow-minded. That's why Sasuke, the whole time throughout the saga of Naruto, the first part, he's a narrow-minded individual, okay? And he's so focused and tunnel vision focused on what it is he wants, and it gets worse and worse the stronger his Sharingan gets, until he eventually wants to leave the village for more power, right? So I say all this to say, Sarada awakening her Mangekyo from extreme emotion and situations, fine, whatever. If they want to flip it, because Sasuke technically broke that curse, because the Uchiha that he's going to raise from now on aren't going to be born in that cycle of hatred. That's him breaking that cycle, that curse that they're under. Uchiha, they're always in that disposition. They're always going to be born, and when they get the Sharingan, they're always going to be doing this and that, killing people, killing each other. That's the curse they were under. Sasuke technically broke that because he gave up the hatred. That's why Sasuke broke the curse. He gave up the hatred. He didn't go to the ancient shaman monk and say a couple of spells and prayers and throw some beads in the air and dispel. He didn't dispel the curse. There was no curse to dispel. He broke the curse because he ended that cycle. He ended that repetition. He stopped when he succumbed to Naruto's beliefs and said, okay, you know what, I'll sit back, I'll see the world you're talking about. And when he gave up, that was in turn him breaking that curse. You can technically say Naruto broke the curse. Sasuke did it though, right? So Sarada getting her Mangekyo through a different extreme emotional means is not completely off the table. I don't like how they're doing this here, where okay, the first time it got awakened because she was crying over Boruto. I think that's weak compared to everybody else, right? It's weak. It's still in lines with how that's supposed to work. But it is weak as hell. This time it's because Yodo has this magical spell, like where she can just hear people's inner thoughts in their heart. I think that's bullshit, okay? And her power seems like it's not too dissimilar from something like the Kamui. She can pull in things into a vortex or some sort of vortex. It seems like it's creating a black hole. I don't know if in this picture the black hole is there because the sand is already formed into a hole. Like that's a bundle of sand just spinning, or I think the black hole is actually her ability though. I think that black hole itself, she created that. Because it looks like right here in this picture, the sand is wrapping around it and disappearing, and the sand is drawing to that hole. So I think she created the hole, okay? She created that black hole, and she's purposely sucking in the sand. It seems like she has control over it to some extent. I don't know if it's subconscious or if it's like, more convenient plot shit, right? But, because even Kakashi had to get used to the Kamui. He had to get used to that. So we're going to find out more about her Sharingan. And I hate so much that she has to use glasses with Sharingan. She should take them off. Technically, that should be a subtle part of the writing with her character in the background of what Uchiha is and how the Sharingan works, right? Once she activates Sharingan, her vision gets better. She shouldn't need glasses anymore. Since she's a half-blood, okay, I can understand her needing glasses and her eyes are like weak without the Sharingan. It's like the genes ain't there right? The genes didn't mix together right, whatever. She has problems, her eyes aren't as strong as other Uchihas, that's why she needs glasses in the first place, boom. But once she unlocks and puts the Sharingan on, once she puts it on and activates it, that's when she shouldn't need glasses anymore, especially with a Mangekyo. She better take them motherfuckers off and put them in her pocket and stand there looking cool, at least. Because this doesn't make any sense to me still. Okay, that's kind of crazy to me, if anything. It's kind of crazy. But I guess this is my full review of the chapter, man. It was predictable what Konohamaru was going to do. He was going to betray Matsuri in the last second. Okay? And, it was predictable for me. I called it. You can watch my last video. I called it. I didn't feel like making a video for Boruto this time, so I'm going to chop out this part of my live stream. And I don't think there's anything left to talk about. Okay, her Sharingan, we talked about that. We talked about Matsuri and Konohamaru being predictable. And I wondered, he's just going to probably get his ass whooped from now on, right? He's probably just going to get whooped because he lost the element of surprise. He might just get whooped, or Boruto will have to pull up and help him, maybe. I don't know. He might have to help both of them. Sorry, I still might not win in this situation. Who knows? But hey, I think that's it for me. If I think of anything else to include with my thoughts on Boruto in this chapter, I'll make another video. It might be edited this time. It won't be live. But yeah, that's it, man. I'm out.